Welcome back, guys. I did some work on this thing a couple days ago. Fixed the plow swivel and tightened everything up. But I ran into a snag. It quit charging. It's charging real slow. And once in a while it just poofs right up. And it's not right. You can put the electric clutch on and it just buries in the negative. So, we're running around wide open throttle 13 volts. You're going to say, well, that's charging. Well, yeah, but not good enough. Regulator's probably bad. That's a used regulator from Terrell. He doesn't even know if it's any good, so we might be taking a chance. We might be doing this again tomorrow. But I want to get this part done, and then do another video on the steering. I got new bushings for the gear sector, and I'm going to use the box part out of the 93, because this box part that holds all the stuff is rotting out. And in a couple months, when it's in the springtime, when I'm tearing this thing apart, we're going to put a brand new steering box in it. It's about $152. So, it's very hard to do. So, let's get to checking this. Okay, disconnect the charge wire. Disconnect the stator from the regulator. And of course it needs both amps. Okay, there we go. Disconnect these two bolts. Now switch over to 5/16. I do not recommend you guys actually using an impact on these little tiny things, because I've snapped them off with even hand tools. There's a little latch on the back side of the cover for the bottom heat shield, and that's what I'm caught on. Out with the Harbor Freight light so I can see what's going on. Okay. Okay. So basically it's caught. There it goes. This light is real nice. Seven sixteenths. We're going to loosen one. We're going to loosen the one. And we're going to take the other one out. As soon as I it's not even out far enough. There we go. it's a genuine regulator. Okay. I'm going to clean this up a little bit on the wire wheel where it'll sit. And it's not going to affect anything because I'm not going to get it into the, what you call it, the epoxy. Set that over there. Just like that. You can polish these with aluminum polish. I got some. Or whatever. Make it look like chrome. Carol does that a lot of times. Now we slide that back in. Once I get the... Okay, I want it like that. Okay. Put your washer on, put your nut on. These have to be grounded to work. They can't just be hanging. It's got to be loosened up and moved just a little bit. Come on, get off of there. Alright. These are thick wall sockets, so it's going to get stuck. Now this is the tricky part because you got to slide it behind everything. Somehow. Actually, you know what? That's right. You can do it this way. Get your little thing latched back in. Okay. Your little small ones first. Now, if you ever do this to your own tractor, if you have a similar tractor, you don't have to put the regulator right here. You can put it wherever you want. It's just where I put the ones that both of mine actually are in the same location. Oh yeah, you gotta make sure your fuel line isn't pinched, because your fuel line runs through this side of the engine. That's 5/16. There's 3/8. Now if this regulator doesn't work, I'll just get a new one from Terrell and put it on. Plug in your charge wire, plug in your stator. Actually, you need to get your wire unwrapped. Alright, like I said, you don't have to put your stator right there. Where is it? Well, I remember I cut this wire, but originally it would have had another end on this end. And these are often used on MTDs to extend your kill wire and your charging wires. And you could do that with the stator. Like I said, originally these two wires here would have the other end of this. And you could just extend and put your regulator wherever you want it. I hope this is the problem. I don't really want to fork out for a stator, but I will if I have to. But I don't think it's a stator because it's it puts out the correct voltage. Normally I would say that's a little high, but you figure this thing wasn't charging, so it's got to make up for all of that. So, it is definitely charging. My other one pegs the needle too, so. Let's move on. So the charging issue's fixed. Well, how about this? I'll bring you back. Okay guys, you know, monkeying around with this thing, This is the steering box part. You see it's an actual box. Back here is where the gear selector goes. It rides, or the steering gear sector, what I mean, goes down here. The plastic bushings through here and here. And then the shaft runs down. Or actually, the shaft comes up from the bottom. There's a bronze bushing right there, supposed to be. I knocked it out. And then a washer, and then a clip that snaps onto the shaft. There's a plastic bushing here. And this part goes along a rod that goes back and forth for lifting and lowering the mower deck. So, it's later at night. I don't feel like messing with it. My plan is to put this video out. Then tomorrow, when I get home, I'll start tearing into it. Overall, it's not that bad, but the steering wheel has to come off, the dash has to come off, pretty much the wiring off the front end has to come off. And yeah, I know, I just tucked it all up. The choke and throttle cables both have to come loose, because the dash has to go backwards. Battery tray has to come out. Then we'll have to go from there on figuring out what else has to go. But once it's down, it's pretty simple of a job. You take after you get the bolts out and get everything loose, you just take the steering shaft and move it back here and wiggle it out through the top. So, like I said, this tractor steering box is rotting out right through here and here, and I imagine it's pretty bad all the way through because of dirt and sand. As you can see, this, and plus being left outside. This tractor's been left outside. This one here, it's got dirt and grass, but it's not rusting out because moisture didn't get to it. So, you know, that's the difference. Now, the hole at the bottom, right here, where the plastic bushing goes for the steering sector, that's egg-shaped a little bit. You can see that. That's normal. It happens. So we'll still have a little bit of play. And I guarantee you the bushing that goes here is not perfect either. But, you know, like I said, it's only got to last a couple of months. And in its current condition, I don't want to risk it because it does have quite a lot of play that didn't develop until after I started using it. So, it's getting done. At least this part. And like I said, I've got the new bushings. I took them out of the bags. They're Oregon number 45-073. And they're a little dirty because I've been messing around, sticking them in. And this shaft bushing in the front is supposed to be plastic too. And I'll just reuse one of these up here because it's not gonna matter. This one here that went there was really, really worn. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for tonight, guys. I'm sorry for a short video, but we'll try to get this thing torn apart tomorrow night and fixed. I'm hoping that, because it took me a while to get this one out. I'm hoping that it don't take me as long to get this one out, though. I may have to trim a little on this one here because this is turned around. The belt rides over here, and I'm not entirely sure on the placement of the belt yet. So, yeah. Terrell ordered the hydro fan today, so it's on its way. So, yeah. I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Alright, bye.